Hey, yo, what's happening? What's happening? Eat the game. What's good? How y'all feeling today, man? What's up, man? Yeah, y'all already know, man. This is Eat the Game, man. Listen, we gotta reverse the curse, man. Y'all already know. Tap that subscribe button, man. Help me help you rise awareness on this spiritual battle that we facing. Cause I'm telling you, that's what we facing, man. Ain't nothing else. Tap that subscribe button, man. Help me build up this community. All I talk about is good stuff, positive stuff, man. Self help. You know what I'm saying? We working on ourselves today, man. We working on ourselves. This new generation, we gonna reverse the curse, man. It's all about that. It ain't about nothing else. We know that it's an uphill battle. We know that you know, we wasn't equipped with all the tools and things that we needed growing up. Some of us ain't had fathers. Some of us was raised in bad environments. You know, all that good stuff. All that stuff that played a role on the stuff that we seeing now, the things that's happening now. But what I can say is we can reverse the curse, man. We definitely can. We can reverse the curse. I mean, that's why I made this channel. So tap in, man. Hit that subscribe button. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Word to my papa. Show some love, man. I'm only here just, raising awareness and shining the light on helping us overcome this spiritual battle that we got within us. Helping us overcome all these emotions, all these addictions. For real. Yeah, man. I already know what time it is. Let's tap into this video. See what it's hitting for. Let's tap in.
When police in San Antonio, Texas, responded to a welfare check at a high-end apartment complex, they encountered an unlikely and tragic scene. A single bullet hole shot through the front door of an apartment unit. The victim, 34-year-old Martel DeRuin, dead inside from a single gunshot to the head.
Damn.
The state of the apartment told the story of a heated argument, but the door was deadbolted from the inside. The shot clearly made from outside the door. Recollections of neighbors, doorbell camera footage, and a bizarre 911 call would eventually lead to the shooter, and a conclusion that few would have predicted.
I'm telling you, man. Listen.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin,
when
and
it's your
welcome
time,
to Just Thought Lounge.
the
Today's
Grim
case
Reaper come
begins
for
as a
you, man.
very
It's your
odd one.
time.
As the pieces come together, there appears to be an abundance of evidence.
So what are the odds that one bullet through the door would take homie life? What's the odds of that? When it's your time, it's your time. Time is your time, bro. Tough.
Though the incident as a whole has been interpreted very differently. When all is said and done, this case comes down to who it is that you believe is telling the truth. Let's take a look.
They always say it's three sides to the story. His side, her side, and the truth.
On Tuesday, the 26th of January, 2021, San Antonio police were called out to the towers off of La Cantera Parkway, a newly built luxury apartment complex. The SAPD had been contacted by the family of 34-year-old Martel DeRuin to conduct a welfare check. Martel lived alone in a new one-bedroom unit in the complex. He had been uncharacteristically out of contact and unreachable for days. When police arrived, they found Martel's vehicle parked in the building's garage. There was every reason to believe that he was at home, but he was not responding. A maintenance team was eventually called to force open his apartment door. It had been locked and deadbolted from the inside.
Damn.
While crews worked to force their way inside, they noticed a hole in the door near to the peephole and knocker. This small hole was unmistakable. It had been made from a bullet. When the team managed to push their way inside, they found Martel just on the other side of the door, deceased and collapsed to the floor. He had
Oh yeah, they was
sustained a
waiting for him.
single gunshot to the head.
Yeah, as soon as he
Police
probably
believed
looked
they
through
were
the
at the
peephole,
scene of
hit
a
it one time.
homicide. As word spread of the death to family and friends, the shock and grief felt by the Drouin family was almost palpable. Many had
As soon as he
difficulty
came to the door, they
processing the
let it
murder.
go.
They thought
One
there must
shot
have
perfectly
been
to the
some
head.
kind of mistake. Martel was not a man with enemies. Smart, capable, and successful, Martel was a military veteran after serving 6 years in the Air Force. He had been a decorated sergeant in Air Force intelligence. Martel's role had seen him working with some of the military's most sensitive and confidential intelligence. Since leaving the service, he had pursued a career in music. As a rapper, he went by the name Cardone and had recently signed with the Sony-affiliated music label, The
Okay.
Orchard. He was active in the music scene across San Antonio and often worked as a
Okay, my
sound
boy had
engineer,
motion.
helping to record music for other up-and-coming
Oh, my
talent
boy
out
had
of his own
motion.
studio. Friends and colleagues knew him to be a bit of a rarity, a successful rapper that was nonetheless always very humble. Martel was a
You see, this why I don't even be buying that BS. And some people saying, even with, military people or, what I'm saying, the army, soldiers and stuff like that, yeah, when they come home, I get it, man. They should get rewarded. They should get compensated with a lot more than they do. But if you don't, life ain't over. Y'all still got motion, right? Y'all still got life. Make it happen, man. Make it happen, Captain.
cousin of Beyonce's through his grandmother, Agnes Deruin. Yet despite striving for years to hit it big in the music industry, he never name-dropped.
Something he would even mention to people. We just have to put it in his bios because it's worthy to put in there, but he doesn't like stuff like that.
When Martel was a teenager, he met the woman that would become his future wife, Joya. The two reconnected after both graduating high school and would marry in 2007. By the time of his death, the couple had been formally separated for roughly 2 years, living in separate apartments only a few miles away and renting out the house that they had owned together. Nonetheless, the two remained cordial. They spent time together every week. Joya had driven to the Tower's apartments on the morning that Martel was found. After speaking with his parents, she had called, texted, and emailed with no response. So she drove over to check up on him. The last time anyone had spoken with Martel was 4 nights earlier on January 22nd. The medical examination and
Man, he been
investigation
for four. Shit, he
unfortunately
been dead for
aligned
4
with
nights.
this timeline. Martel had been shot through his door 3 days
That don't even look
prior.
like it's a peephole.
Further inside the apartment, police began piecing together the story of Martel's last night. Broken dishes shattered into pieces covered the kitchen floor. In the bedroom, the sheets had been torn off of the mattress and had become twisted into a pile. Next to the sheets was a do-rag and a broken acrylic nail. One perhaps pulled off of the head and the other broken from a finger during a struggle. There were also signs of a physical altercation elsewhere. The bed
Oh, so he
frame
got
had
shot
come
from the
apart.
inside.
The headboard was torn from the rest of the frame. A basket that appeared to have been knocked to the floor held a cartridge with bullets, but no gun. In the closet, police found a pistol case, the one provided by the manufacturer. When they looked inside, the pistol was missing. The neighbor living directly below Martel's apartment unit reported overhearing a loud and violent argument on the night of the 22nd. She took a short video of her ceiling, which recorded some of the yelling and items breaking. The noise was loud enough to permeate through the floor and into her home.
Damn.
This neighbor did not, however, place a call to the police, but someone
Sometimes
else
you try to ignore.
did.
You don't try to mind your business.
Reviewing emergency calls from the night of Martel's death, investigators uncovered a call from a woman in the Tower apartments, locked out of her unit and concerned about a hole in the door. The woman was long gone by the time the officers responded to the building. But on the phone call, she had given a name: Joya Deruin, Martel's estranged wife.
911 to spread duty fire or
I need police now.
what address?
It's 16735 O'Connor Road, not O'Connor, Terra Parkway?
16735?
Yes,
Okay, this is the Towers?
yes.
Okay, and your name?
My name is Joya Duran.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm trying to get in my apartment, but I'm not able to get in. I'm just not able to get in, and I think my husband is injured.
Your husband's hurt?
Yes.
Do you hear him?
No, he's not responding, and I called him. He's just not responding. And there's a hole in his door, and I don't know what's going on.
There's a hole in the door?
It sounds like some true
Yes.
concern.
Hey, where are you now?
I'm at the same address.
Are you outside the apartment or where are you?
I'm outside the door, and I cannot get in.
And you don't have a key?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Do you live there?
Yes, I do.
And what is your name?
Joy, now I ain't gonna lie, they be checking them. They be clocking them. But hold on though. How you don't got a key? You lit it at 1. It just, I don't know. It sounds real spooky. It sounds like she's really concerned. But then it just sounds like real suspect. You know what I'm saying? How you live there but you don't got no key?
My name's Joya Duran.
Spell the first name?
Joya is Joia.
And your husband's name?
Martel.
Last name?
Deron, Deroun.
All right, and it's apartment 1605?
Yes.
All right, we'll get an officer over there.
On the night of the shooting in the unit across the hallway, new resident Caroline was waiting on DoorDash to deliver her dinner for the evening. Mistaking the noise of knocking on a door from the hallway as her food delivery, Caroline opened the door. Instead of her food, she encountered a woman in her 20s, wearing a long green sundress, banging on the door to the unit across the hall. Caroline was asked by police at the scene to take a look at the onlookers outside of the building, where Martel's wife, Joya, in shock and confusion, waited for more information. Was that the woman that she saw banging on Martel's door on the night that he died? No, Caroline said. Joya Deruin was definitely not the woman that she saw that night. Caroline's recollection was supported when investigators sourced what would prove to be the pivotal piece of evidence, a Ring doorbell camera from an apartment just down the hall from Martel's. Facing into the hallway, the camera captured a young woman around 9 p.m. on January 22nd.
She shaped like
the
her
woman
though.
wore no shoes. She was dressed in a green sundress. In one
With the
hand,
machine
she
in her
carried a
hand.
cell phone. In her right hand, a pistol.
How she just carrying the pistol like that? She just waving it around like nothing.
Looking beyond the destruction inside of the apartment, investigators found further indications of the second person, the mystery woman who had been with Martel on the night of his murder. By the window was an easel and partially completed painting which sat abandoned. A pair of shoes, likely women's, sat on the floor just in front, surrounded by more painting supplies. 2 glasses of Hennessy, a type of brandy, were out as well. These drinks left unfinished. A large purse sat on a chair next to the broken bed, an iPad on a footstool.
What's going
Then,
on?
finally, they located 2 debit cards, both with the same name on them.
Who name?
Sasha Scar.
That's definitely her.
21-year-old Sasha Scar was an aspiring songwriter and vocalist. She lived primarily in Austin with her mother and freelanced as a graphic designer, making corporate logos and flyers. According to Joya, Martel had met Sasha at the shoot for one of his music videos years earlier in 2016. At the time, 17-year-old Sasha was doing some modeling and trying to launch her own music career.
She bad
He offered
too.
to help her out. Years later, after his separation, the two became romantically involved.
See, I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, men need to. I'm telling you, us men, we need to overcome. Right now, men is losing. We losing badly too on the board. We losing. We fall too weak. We fall too weak to the flesh. We deal with so much. We fall weak to the flesh, man, and it's madness, bro. It's madness. It's madness.
But in the aftermath of his death, Sasha was nowhere to be found. Her photo was distributed in the media. Friends posted to her Instagram account. Turn yourself in.
Yeah.
This was not the first time that Sasha's scar had been sought by law enforcement. In December 2019, the Austin Police Department responded to the call of a shooting on North Lamar Boulevard at just past 1 a.m. At the scene, officers met then 20-year-old Sasha Scar.
You know the funny shit though? Niggas be seeing the signs though. But so sometimes we look past the signs when we see a beautiful face. And that shit gets you in trouble. Always, boy. And I always say, man, a gun got its own spirit. So whatever she thinking or he thinking, when that gun is involved, shit. Majority of the time is on demon. It's demon time. It's demon time. Somebody TV getting turned off. You heard somebody TV getting turned off. You heard what Kenji said. You know what I'm saying? Turned off.
Who told them she and her boyfriend went to meet someone to buy marijuana. He had been shot in the chest. Police found her boyfriend, Andrew Bass, in the back seat of a car parked at Jeff's auto body shop. Emergency medics performed CPR, but he was declared dead at the scene. In an interview with police, Sasha said she and Andrew went to a grocery store to meet someone and make their purchase. She told them she parked the car and Andrew walked off to make the deal. Then, she claimed that she heard gunshots soon after. She ran after Andrew to find him wrestling with another man holding a gun. Police reported that Sasha was very adamant that her boyfriend was the one who set up the meeting. But investigators later found messages on the man's phone between him and Sasha, setting up all of the details.
Nah.
They said it was clear from the messages that the two knew each other, and that Sasha...
Oh, nah, she a demon. She a demon. She outside with it. No remorse. Lock me up and throw away the key type demon. With that smile, look at the smile though. You know what they said about Lucifer, man? You know, he's very flattering, deceiving.
Sasha set up the meeting with the intention of robbing the man. When she and her boyfriend attempted to do so, he was killed and the other man seriously injured.
Damn.
Sasha had run off with the gun. She faced a charge of aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon and was released on bond. In March 2020, 3 people, including Sasha Scar, were severely burned when a propane tank exploded inside of a residential building. The explosion happened after a 200-pound propane tank linked to a gas line developed a fracture and began leaking gas.
Boy, she looked like Lion King. She looked like she from the jungle, or you know, one of them avatars and shit. But that looked like, I ain't gonna hold you though. That shit looked like it was designed or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a art, a painting. No cap. She just on demon. She's a demon. She getting burnt and surviving a propane, bro.
Into a nearby home. The scars on Sasha's face had healed by the winter of 2021. In February, after word spread of Martel's murder, she turned herself in to San Antonio police. 2 years later, Sasha Scar stood trial for first-degree murder.
And she got big.
The prosecution argued that Sasha, after arguing with Martel inside the apartment, had left with his gun. She later returned to the door, angry, carrying the weapon as shown in the doorbell footage. The bullet hole in the door was made next to the peephole. They argued that she had fired with intent, targeting a location on the other side of the door where she knew Martel to be standing.
On our trial, we're going to present these various
opening
facts
the
to
door.
you. And at the end of the trial, you're going to learn that, number one, there's a physical confrontation in there by the evidence that we see, broken items. Number two, disputed, Caroline saw a young African-American woman Friday night banging on the door, trying to get in.
Facts.
You're going to learn number three, that Martel clearly locked everybody out of that apartment. He clearly wanted no one in there.
Right.
You're going to learn number four, that a bullet went through the door, near the keyhole, into his head. And the most, probably in my mind, the most compelling part, number 5, a video recording of the defendant walking with a semi-automatic 9mm down the hallway on a cell phone. And when you put these items together, we're going to ask you to find the defendant guilty.
It's crazy though. I mean, you be just sometimes you get into an argument with your shorty or girl or whatever, man. You be just trying to tell them like, yo, just leave. I don't want to argue. It's all right. You got it. You win. They don't be wanting to leave. I ain't gonna just say only women, but when they got that spirit in them, they just don't want to leave. They just want to continue on. You feel me? They just want to keep quarreling, arguing. That's how you know a spirit has entered them, man. It's not them acting. Because then next day sometimes when they calm down, they "hi, so sorry." Then they probably had sex again. And all this BS. But when a gun is involved, sometimes it might not lead to the next day. Somebody shit gonna get turned off. Somebody.
After firing the shot, the state argued that she must have known that she hit him, prompting her to place a call to 911. On this call, she pretended to be his wife, Joya, in an attempt to conceal her own identity. Joya DeRuin testified that she recognized Sasha's voice on the 911 recording. She also explained that there were multiple pieces of information offered on the call that did not make sense. Sasha initially gave an incorrect address to the operator, accidentally offering the street where she used to live instead of the tower's apartments.
Amazing.
She also provided an incorrect phone number, seemingly unaware that 911 could trace back the number that was used.
Describe to us what information the defendant got incorrect or what misinformation.
Why you couldn't work it out with her?
Well, number one, she pronounced my name wrong. My last name is not Duran, it's DeRuin. She spelled it wrong. My first name, you couldn't tell whether she was going to spell it with a G or a J. It's with a J. And then Martel was not 28, he was 34.
Amazing.
Just amongst a couple of other things that, were in the tape. It just was all over the place. It wasn't the correct information at all.
Sasha's defense team argued that the
Got him.
altercation with Martel from earlier in the night left Sasha fearful for her life. When she returned to the doorway, it was because she felt that she needed to collect her belongings from inside the apartment in order to leave.
Get the hell up out of there.
Shoeless, with her purse and bank cards inside, Sasha banged on the door,
And you got a gun
holding
too.
the gun that she had taken for her own protection.
Stop.
Her defense team withheld their opening statement until the prosecution had finished presenting its case. They called a single witness in her defense
She
to
walking with that
explain
gun
what
like
they claimed
she being
transpired
possessed.
that night, leading to Martel's death. That witness was Sasha Scar.
You've heard a lot of evidence before you. Heard the what, the when, the where. Now you're going to hear about the why. I want you to pay attention during the state's case, to the defense's case in chief. You're going to hear from Ms. Sasha Scar herself, and you're going to hear a version of events that happened that night. We're going to leave it up to you to make that decision. And ultimately, at the end, we believe you will determine the only verdict that makes sense, which is not guilty as to murder.
Sasha told the jury that she met Martel years earlier. He had presented himself to her at that time as a 24-year-old rapper, though he must have been at least 30 years old. Years later, the two reconnected as friends, becoming romantically involved in the 6 to 8 months before his death. Sasha did not drive. 2 to 3 times a week, Martel would collect her from her mother's home in Austin and drive her back to his apartment in San Antonio.
Damn.
This is what had occurred earlier on January 22nd. At the apartment, Sasha began a painting, which was intended for the promotion of Martel's performance, scheduled for that coming weekend. The rapper worked on his music nearby before the two settled down for dinner and a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Following dinner, Sasha took a call from a photographer who she was looking to work with to further her own career ambitions.
Okay.
She used the iPad to FaceTime in the kitchen. All the while, Martel sat on the couch within earshot of the discussion. Sasha claimed that this phone call triggered the argument that followed,
Yeah,
She
because you already
characterized
moving.
Martel as jealous and angry.
Nah,
The argument
not only
turned
that.
physical. The incident inside the apartment came to an end when Sasha claimed to have leapt over the kitchen counter, avoiding the broken dishes on the one side as she was barefoot, and ran from the unit, carrying only her cell phone and the gun.
He was upset because he felt like I was on the phone with another man.
Why did you grab the weapon?
I grabbed it to tell him, after I grabbed it, I told him, don't touch me.
Were you in fear for your life at that point?
Yes, I was. I started backing up out of the bedroom. When I backed up out of the bedroom, he started following me. I started grabbing dishes out of the cabinets and throwing it in between us.
Sasha stood in court to
Come on. And her track record just shows that the lie detector test determines that was a lie. I don't even gotta hit her. If she's found not guilty, man, boy, the system is rigged, for real. The system is rigged, but we're gonna see.
demonstrate for jurors what she said occurred just after she was captured by the doorbell camera.
Damn, look
Outside
how
the doorway,
she gained mad weight. Shorty was slim. I don't even. This doesn't even look the same girl. She could afford and say, "Yo, that's not me in the camera." Okay.
she banged on the door to get Martel's attention. Her explanation for how the gun was fired offered little for her defense.
By accident.
How exactly was the gun discharged?
As I was knocking on the door, I just threw the gun up and just.
What?
The gun went off? Okay.
Man, no, like I
Ms.
said.
Carr, when you fired that shot, did you know Martel was behind that door?
No, sir, I didn't.
Did you mean to hurt Martel?
Not at all.
Tell the jury, what was your intent when that gun fired?
Yeah, it's over. You done. You can stop it. I ain't gonna hold you. The demon will start crying. All that I'm telling you, they deceiving. The demons allowing her to do this crocodile tear shit. Give her a Grammy award. So you set people up for fall. We know you did it.
I guess my intent was just to get his attention.
Alright. So I thought you said that the gun just went
The
off.
prosecution did not argue that the altercation that caused so much damage inside had not taken place, nor that Sasha had not been injured as a result. On cross-examination, they did question whether the argument had in fact left her in fear for her life. Sasha's actions after the fact suggested otherwise.
Facts.
First, she knocked on other neighbors' doors, but did not request help. Instead, she borrowed a cell phone charger. When her cell phone had gained a partial charge from the stairwell in the building, Sasha did call 911, but not for her own safety. The
Right.
state argued that she made the call because she knew that the bullet struck Martel. They
Mhm.
also argued that she could not have been scared for her life, or she never would have chosen to return to the apartment with the gun.
You
She
feel
would
me?
have simply waited for a friend to pick her up from the building, which they eventually did.
You make a call to 911, correct?
That was one of the calls that I made, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's your testimony that you went back to the apartment and started banging on the door again, correct?
Yes.
And you had the gun with you.
Yes.
So it is your testimony that you're so scared to death while you're in the apartment, you leave with a gun, and you come back to the same place where you're afraid, correct? Is that your testimony?
Yes, sir.
So instead of calling 911, saying, hey, I've just been assaulted, I've just been choked, you didn't do that, correct?
No, sir,
No.
I didn't.
You had a gun in your hand, you could have found a safe place to remain and call police, correct?
Facts.
sir.
And get your belongings.
No, sir, I didn't.
Why not?
The state pressured Sasha to provide an explanation as to why she had raised the gun in her hand at all, if her intent was not to fire it.
You're raising the gun. Why are you raising it?
I guess because at the time I just
Crashed out.
went mad. I just
Yeah,
wanted to-
crashed out. Keep it
Why
in.
are you raising the gun?
Cause she crashed out.
For what function? What reason are you raising the gun?
I wouldn't necessarily say to shoot it because
Then why?
So crash out, baby. Let them know. You better get life. Don't worry. Just tell them. Tell your testimony.
there would be no other answer. But
The other
shoot it.
answer is that you're angry, decided to shoot at him. That would be another reason why you would.
I didn't decide to shoot at him though.
You should shoot at.
After
The door?
Sasha left the building, she told the jury that she disposed of the weapon in a nearby dumpster because she did not want to be carrying it around. 2 days
Maybe.
after the shooting, she took photos of her black eye and scratches to document the injuries that she said she sustained that night. In closing arguments, the prosecution and defense rehashed the details of Sasha's story, as well as the indisputable facts, and interpreted them back to the jury. In the state's interpretation, Sasha knew that Martel was on the other side of the door when she fired. He must have been speaking to her, or more likely, telling her to leave.
Facts.
The defense suggested that Martel must have thought that the noise of the pistol banging on the door was the police, and so he approached the peephole to take a look in complete silence. Sasha had no idea that he was standing there.
Stop that crocodile tear, man.
No dispute that she broke and threw things onto the ground. After he kicks her out and she's banging on the door, do you think he's going to tiptoe quietly to the door without saying a word?
Right.
Or what is more likely, that he's
Get
going
up
to be
outta here.
angry as well and tell her, go away,
Boogie.
leave me alone, get away. All of a sudden, he's just going to tiptoe and not say anything? No, he was responding through the door, and she shot him through the door. Not only did she shoot him through the door, she shot him through the middle of the door, knowing he's right behind her.
Banging on the door, he's silent. So she's banging with that gun. She wants to get his attention and say, open the door, I need my stuff. Steps back, pulls the gun up, and the gun goes off as she's pulling it up. I'm not saying goes off accidentally. She admits to pulling the trigger. She's owning it. She stood in the light and said it. She didn't
How she raised the gun?
accidentally discharge it as it's coming up. She pulled it up and fired. Unfortunately, I speculate Martel, looking to see if it's the police, leans down to a really low peephole, and this horrific thing happens. Martel gets shot straight in the head and falls dead to the floor.
The jury took 2 hours to return a guilty verdict.
Yeah, it's over.
We, the jury, find the defendant Sasha Skar guilty of the
100%.
offense of murder as charged in the indictment, signed the foreperson of the grand jury.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
The foundation of Sasha's defense was her own testimony, and the jury obviously did not find it believable.
Yeah. It's
Following
over.
the verdict, the same jury deliberated for 4.5 hours to determine Sasha's sentence. She faced a maximum term of life in prison.
Yeah, that's facts. She looked like
She was
ready.
given 55 years.
Ooh, wee. She's done.
1 week before
Cooked.
Sasha's trial commenced, she was offered a plea deal that would have sentenced her to 20 years in prison. Under the jury's longer punishment, she will be eligible for parole in 2048.
Damn.
So fix your sheets, if you have any, because you've made your bed and now it's time to lay in it.
Martel Cardone de Ruin is remembered as a loving family man, a decorated Air Force veteran, and talented musician.
Tough, man. It's tough. Tough. That's what I'm saying. we got to stop falling weak to the flesh. And when we marry somebody, man, we need to work through those marriages, man. Stop trying to get divorces and stuff. I know things get tough, man, in marriages, man, but we need to fight through it, man. We need to fight through it. I never been married yet, but I know when I do get married, you know, me not fight literally, you feel me? Not, you know, for me, but figuratively. We need to work it, man. Work it out. Work it out, because there ain't nothing better. The grass never greener on the other side. For real. For real, man. Listen, my heart goes out to homie and his family, man. We're going to give him a little solemn, you know what I mean, moment of silence. Amen. And yo, shorty, you got a lot of time to think about your actions, man. Where you at? You feel me? Work on yourself, overcome, repent, ask the man above for forgiveness, ask him for mercy on you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, if y'all like that video, man, if y'all like how I be giving it up, smash that sub button. You know, we got more content coming. We got more information. We got more unraveling of the battle that we all go through. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to judge, but we definitely here to shine a light on the battles that we go through from day to day. Because just in the matter of the moment, man, everybody's like 2 steps away from being a Jeffrey. For real. So you got to overcome that anger. Anger could lead to you losing your life. And it's just like that. But you know, y'all stay blessed, man. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love.